the human services, social services realm, you see a lot of LGBTQIA plus people. What up, what up, what up? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Fabulous followers. Back with another story time. This story time is about my coming out story. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell a friend and tell a friend. Come right back.
And you still gotta feel me. A house is a heart. I don't own no realty. Thought I paid my dues, but the game still build me. They took my innocence. No surprise, I pled guilty. Used to love to hit the court, now I hate to go. Used to rake leaves for money, now they pushing snow.
I'm gonna hold you guys. I never do. Let's jump into it. So, the furthest back that I can go with my recollection of being attracted to females is 6 years old. I remember being 6 years, yes, 6. I remember being 6 years old and my mama having a friend who had a daughter that was a little younger than me. And I remember wanting to touch her, kiss her, dry humping, whatever that looked like. We was on that at 6 years old. My mom and her friend were in another room somewhere smoking Mary Jane and kind of left us to our own devices. I remember we would like be coloring and playing, doing regular kid stuff, and I would start acting fresh. But the actual coming out story comes when I was 13 years old. I was either 13 or 14. So in my second semester of my 8th grade year is when we moved to Rockford. And during the summer, my mom had someone babysitting my sisters and brothers. I didn't want to do it for whatever reason. I was trying to be active. I never really wanted to be in Rockford. I hadn't really gotten over the fact of not being the only child at home, and it was a lot. So the girl who was babysitting for my sisters at the time would be there when I was there as well. And this particular time, we were watching TV or something. And I said, go do XYZ for me and I'll give you a kiss. Like, go give me something to drink, go give me some cookies. I don't remember what the act was. Maybe it's in my book. But I remember saying if she did it, I would give her a kiss. So, mind you, while we were here, she had my siblings. Her siblings were also there too. So we had a bunch of younger kids in the room. She was like maybe 2 years older than me because she was in the 9th grade going into the 10th. And I was in the 8th grade going into the 9th. And so when she came back with something to drink, she literally said, "Where's my kiss?" So I remember us getting under a blanket so all the other little kids wouldn't see and kissing. And boy, did that spark something in me. This girl was so quiet and so shy. I remember she used to always be shaking. I remember her palms used to always be sweaty. And I was not in tune as much then as I am now. I think I was more or less just trying to discover myself. So I was very sexually driven, Scorpio. So I didn't pay attention to her emotional cues and things like that at the time. So that day led to us kissing more, touching more. And she was actually the first female who I inserted. Let's just say that. And it got really toxic really fast because I wasn't 100% satisfied with her and I was still in my discovery zone. So I started talking to different people once I started school. And I had some upperclassmen friends that kind of protected me from being picked on because, you know, they usually have freshman beat up day, all the stuff that go on at school. And I was already having some trouble with some females. So when this particular individual saw that I was talking to, trying to date, liking other people, she flipped. And she flipped so bad that she went to the counselor and she threatened to harm herself. Well, the counselor called her mother and my mother. And that's how I was outed. And my mother immediately said it was just a phase. I would grow out of it. She talked about taking me to the doctor for hypnosis. I can't remember if we went to the appointment and it just didn't happen, or maybe I was hypnotized and don't remember that. But it was more than just a phase. And just recently, the reason why this came out, my lady and I were watching an old web series, and one of the episodes they talked about coming out, or what your coming out story was. And long time ago when I first started YouTube, I had did a video about that, but my lady, who also acts as my kind of manager, said that would be a good story time for this day relevant. What ended up happening with me and that young lady was we ultimately separated. I remember several times, even as an older adult, going and trying to look her up by the name I remembered, but that was unsuccessful, because I would like to know, like, you know, is she okay mentally? What did her life kind of become? Did she go back to men? Did she have children? You know, and just see, because I wasn't the nicest back then. I wasn't the cool, respectful, gentle lady that I am now. So I don't know where you at, Latricia, if you see this video. Anybody else see this video? Her name was Latricia Harmon. Yeah, name dropping. Just because if y'all know somebody that could put me in connection with her, that would be nice. Just to kind of like say, hey, you know, sorry I was such a jerk back then. Good to see you living, thriving, being healthy, whatever that situation looks like. It matters to me, you know, because that was, I guess what you could say, my first real female relationship beyond just experimenting. So that's my coming out story time. And basically, the other part of the coming out is when I had to admit to my son's grandmother. His dad and his aunt had ran back and told his grandmother that I was dating females. And of course, his dad had an attitude with it. So his auntie had an attitude with it. And the blessing was his grandmother had a gay brother. Unfortunately, he passed away from complications with AIDS. But I think knowing him, loving him, seeing his relationships helped her to be more open. Otherwise, it probably would have been a problem. But when we sat down and we talked about it and I admitted my truth to her, she said, just don't go back and forth. Just don't confuse them. And I told her, you got my word. And so coming out to my mom and then coming out to my son's grandmother were really my only coming outs. I never necessarily came out to friends or extended family members. They just knew. They saw me. They saw what it was. They knew. They didn't question it. Most people supported me. Yeah, it was a great story. And I know not everybody gets it that good. So I recognize the blessings and I'm happy for it. I think a lot of my mom's acceptance came with the fact that she didn't have to worry about me getting pregnant. And then a couple of years later, I ended up pregnant anyway. Sorry, Mom. But those were my coming out stories. Never came out at work. I remember when I would wear blouses and crap like that, lipstick, do my hair kind of feminine, just to get the role. And as soon as I'm hired, I go like myself. So as I grew older and more confident, I stopped masking it. You know, my godmother, she'll be 99 this year, bless her heart. She used to always make me feel like I would be judged or I wouldn't be considered if I didn't do the blousey thing. So I had to just kind of let her know, like, look, I got it from here. It was becoming more accepted, especially in the human services, social services realm. You see a lot of LGBTQIA plus people. So that's how it went. There was a coworker I had recently when I first moved here to Madison who said she didn't know until I said something about it. I find that shocking, but you know, there are women who wear short hair, maybe appear bi, and people just don't question it. But all mandingo here, not just playing. Just playing, son and grandson. because I'm Mama and Nana, and then I'm Indigo and Daddy and Statty. Y'all drop your comments, any further questions you have about the coming out story, anything more you want on this. I also was thinking about doing another Q&A. I haven't been live for a while, and I was thinking maybe that would be a way to kind of come back on the scene, do another Q&A. The first one went great. Shout out to Jelly Bean. But yeah, Fabettes, Fab Kings, I love you guys. I miss you. I'm happy. I'm doing great. Gotta try to get this tooth pulled out sooner than later. Baby coming soon, and still trying to make this transition and be closer to my grandson. So it's all up. I've been abundantly blessed, and I don't take it for granted. Y'all wish me luck, because I got a lot to pull off in a little bit of time, because I'm going to make sure her visit is epic. Thanks for watching. Namaste.
Yo, my boy. I mean, the line, bro, you hit me back, man. What's going on with you, man?
Shit, out the way.
I feel you. Fuck with me, don't link, hit me on the book or something. You feel me?
First thing first, we can't talk if you make statements. My new boo interview because she thinks she a replacement. My niggas ain't working, stay